going to introduce our first wonderful act, and it is a friend of mine. He is a local poetical celebrity. What else should I say about him? He's wearing a really festive jumper.
Well, I was trying to keep it a secret.
Okay, and yeah, he's a wonderful poet, and he's thrown me off what I was going to say. So with no further ado, I'd like to introduce Nick Goodall, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep it a secret. This jumper, it's ostensibly it's a Christmas jumper. It's actually a combined autoeroticism and yoga jumper. I didn't realise this when I bought this from Albion, but look at this. If I do this, and then for my fourth chakra, there's one in the middle. There we go. I didn't believe it. So that's never buy anything from Albion in France. That's my lesson. This year I've been described, my poetry has been described as everything from cynical to whimsical. So you're going to get a mixture of that this evening, half a dozen insights into the world as I see it. The first poem is about the infantilization of language. Now I run a real risk with this one because people go, oh, you say that all the time. But for me, not using the words that we have is a missed opportunity. So as it's Christmas-ish, this is a poem called All I Want for Chrimbo is My Familam. All I want for Chrimbo is my familam, my Xmas holly bobs, with my babes, I mean bubs, and an amazeballs cheeky nom nom, with my hubster and fur baby, while we chillax like we cray cray. Yeah, we'll totes smash it. I'll share the deets with my peeps. Soon only 11 sleeps. It'll be banging, babes. It won't be ick. Lol. Are you okay, hun? Not unless you're a 19th century German Delulu. Yeah, there's a thing with poetry. Sometimes people applaud, sometimes people start off applauding and then stop, and some people just look at you all night like, you are dead. Make your own mind up. Okay, this is called Long Way to the Top. I wrote this especially for a gig I was meant to perform a month ago. It was a career ambition, supporting a punk band. Fantastic. And then the lead singer got coronavirus and didn't have the bottle to spend the night spitting on the audience like punks used to do in the olden days. Can't imagine why. This is called Long Way to the Top. I want to be on your cool band's poster, see my name up in lights. I want to be a rock and roll poser, feel I'm part of the gig tonight. I want to get me a funky lanyard and a shiny fabric wristband, ideally the one with AAA on it. I'll tour anywhere, even if it's Iceland. I want to help myself to your rider, hang around with the cooler kids, drink myself stupid on 8% cider, boast one day 2 indifferent grandkids. It's a legal requirement to write love poems, or at least a version of love. This is called All That Remains. It's about food, how you pick up dietary habits of past lovers. Oh no, yeah. Scratch that verse. Okay. You feed me still with novelty that became the habit and the memory of when you first came. Homemade oat mix, capsule coffee, fizzy water, homemade kimchi, duck confit and goosey fat, Comte and the cornichon, vegan this and keto that, simple fare like mother gone. Through my diet you remain. If you could see me now, I'm clearly not the same. And continuing with the food motif, I'm hungry too. This is called Does the Light Ever Go Out? In the refrigerator of our love remains leftovers of desire chilling with the dishes best served cold. In the cool bag of our love remains consomme stains and mashed plantains. In the icebox of our love, midst cold cuts and crisper, is an absence of whispers. You ate them all. Bit of love, bit of love, bit of love. I'm aware we're on a How about this? It's called 15 Fingers. I have 2 hands, but I need 3. One to hold you, one for us 2, and 1, if I remember, for me. Because I forget, ever since we met, I see only you, if with me, us 2. Deep in your thrall, I overlook me, and when it is we, that is all I can see, but you wanted me, more than I did. I now have to be a man with 15 fingers. Quick one, the Mile High Club. She really was the dimmest. The closest that she came to sexual adventure was riding on a plane to experience Aer Lingus. Yeah, right. I was in a park in a fashionable part of East London the other day, and I saw a sign and it said, it actually said, no avocado, no granola. And I thought these were instructions. I just thought these were like what people, and I thought, well, they're probably kids' names. This is good, whatever happened to Janet and John? You're really being very horrid, worse than your cousin's stepson porridge. That's why they're never here. I banned her, along with awful coriander, caught stealing herbs with that leafy boy parsley. When did you become more fussier than your sister's best friend Nokia? Coming to the park doesn't happen every day, and you'll just not see your neighbour Chardonnay, missing out on all the interactive play. No avocado, no granola. Come back to your mum. Why don't you just play nice like hummus? He's the bestest one. Couple more. People are fascinated by famous people they've never met when they die. Never before, but the moment they're dead, amazing. Changed my life, touched me, I can't get over it, all over Facebook. This is about these people. It's called Never Met Them. Always Benny Z to me, we never spoke or met, and it wasn't like we both were brummies, but we had a small connect. Denny Lane, on the other hand, you know, guitarist in Paul's rock show, drove a van I've touched with these hands, but oh, you should say he has to go now. Jimmy Corkill, Chandler Bing were characters, never real. None of them were the real thing, and Ilya Kuriaki never looked at me. Tony Allen, in 81, gags above the strips. I felt I lived next to Dean Sullivan, now they've both had their chips. George Alagaya, Richard Roundtree, Tom Verlaine, Tina T, Glenda Jackson, Rackle Welsh, Michael Yarwood, Jerry Springer. I missed them like my little finger, but nothing compares to what's her name, the famous Irish singer. Richard Roundtree, Parky, Monty Bill Crosby, Lily Savage, what a package. Pee Wee Herman, who he, Hinge, or was it Brackett, Nigel Lawson, the original Fatboy Slim. Tony Bennett, Dickie Davis, Henry Kissinger, Barry Humphries, Alistair, darling, you are not forgotten. Why isn't your catchphrase in my head? I never wanted Ryan O'Neill at my goddamn deathbed. And as for Shane McGowan, poke 'em home. Two more, and that's your digestive done. Books, you heard about them? You might get one for Christmas. It's the only time people buy them and then give them to each other and then onto the charity shop in January. This is about, there was a bookshop in Broadstairs which closed a few weeks ago. And this is the story of the bookshop. Selling up his bookshop, the one that smelled like books, he said he'd stay until he dropped for folks who like to look. Now, foxed and dog-eared like his books, he's had enough, he says, of bills and cold and council crooks. He will no longer stay. As to the shop, he says that more than likely coffee bar, another eatery like the one next door in the Nero Bucksand Costar. And in that cafe, hipsters will laugh at memes and trolls and stuff and order online a book by their mate, but rather soon they will donate to the second-hand bookshop or not, annoyed that they're too late. It closed when they weren't looking. And finally, it has been said that the way to get good at poetry is to read other poets. And the way to get really good at it is to imitate other poets, parody, deconstruct. Well, I've done the same, but with an old English folk song. It's 50 years old this week, so it's relatively, well, probably ancient for many people here. This is Slade's Merry Christmas, everybody. But it's updated, so people can relate to it. I tried doing this without singing, and I'm going to stick to that plan. But if you remember the tune, it will help. That's the one. Well, at least 3 of the notes anyway, and not necessarily in that order. Are you hanging up on people that dare call? Don't they know that only messaging is cool? Do you have an iPhone 15? Live on Spotify all day? Does your Insta really make you feel okay? So here it is. Keep your head down. Everybody's on their phone. They're swiping your future now. You're lonely, not alone. Do you sometimes wish your parents would just die? When they'll say you'll get ahead if you would try. Cook your dinner, forget Just Eat. If you can't stop, try LinkedIn. Are you okay that they shake their heads at why? So this is it. Keep your head down. Everybody's on their phone. They're swiping the future now. You're lonely, not alone. What will your daddy do when he's caught on new porn? At work. You meant to sing that. Are you sticking with that Elon for a while? Are you hoping that your Facebook friends send smiles? Do you mess around on Snapchat and pretend to understand what to do with that invite to join Blue Sky? So this is it. Keep your head down. Everybody's on their phone. On their phone, if you're Slade. We're swiping our future now. Arthritis of the thumbs. Thank you very much, everybody. Happy Christmas. Yo, ho, ho.